A quick statement about today's game and go straight into questions from you guys after that. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. What an environment today to bring in a Power 4 opponent that just played in the playoffs. Hats off to the community of Springfield and everyone in the surrounding area for coming in and supporting us. The noise mattered. The vibe in the stadium was huge. Our players fed off of it tremendously. It was an exciting football game. You look just at the football game in itself, start fast. All right, you got to win the middle third when you're playing these really good programs. All right, you can't have the lulls that we took where we can't convert on third downs. We turn the ball over and we can't get stops when we need them on defense. You know, when you look at that, you have guys in position. We just have to execute. Goes back to attention to detail, getting back to work on Tuesday, and then going from there.
Coach, obviously you mentioned we had the struggle on third down. Had a lot of manageable ones that stalled out near midfield. Was that just them making the plays that stall you guys, or just miscommunication? What was up with that?
Yeah, they're a good defense. They flew around. They're big up front. We had trouble handling the rush at times, which put Jacob under a bunch of distress. But we still have to be able to function. You know, we have to get our protections where we want them. Guys got to win their one-on-ones, and then we got to find the open man. That's just how it goes some days.
Offensively for them, right, to score 28 unanswered, right? A couple of turnovers went their way, but overall, what did you think about? Was it adjustments they made, or what was it about their turnaround that troubled you guys?
Yeah, when you go and watch the film, we had players in position. We got to make the plays when we have bodies at the football. I mean, just prime example, you look at the 3rd and 1, he's stoned in the backfield for a loss of 2. We don't bring him down, and he goes and scores a touchdown. Same thing with the huge interior run. It was about a 2nd and 6 on their sideline. We go interior pressure. It's bottled up. We have one guy that doesn't keep contained and goes outside. It's a team game. You know what I mean? Every single person has to do their 111, and that's, in my opinion, early in the season, a good thing to grow from. We're going to be really, really tough on them in the film room, and I think we can have a hell of a stretch moving forward.
How big was that measurement call? On third quarter, measurement on 4th down, how big was that, you think?
Yeah, it was pretty big. Clearly, from the way I reacted on the sideline, I thought it was not the correct spot. I'm not a referee. I'm paid to coach, so we'll let those guys make those decisions and live with it. But there was a huge, huge momentum swing there.
I know you guys have given up, I want to say 15 sacks this year. Is that, do you look at that kind of more of a product of, who you're playing, or is it something becomes a pretty big point of concern at this point in the year?
Yeah, I think you could look at 2 of the 3 and say you're playing $20 to $30 million rosters, with a lot of the money being on the defensive line. Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. I like our football team. I think our offensive line plays hard. We're going to figure it out and get the protection that Jacob needs moving forward.
Talking about third downs, I think you have bottom 12 today, and just kind of what you're seeing from the defense there, from their defense, right?
Yeah, their defense did a good job putting pressure on us when they needed to, kind of hemmed us up on the perimeter to where, again, we couldn't get the guys open in space that we needed to get open. And again, their pass rush ate us up at times. Quite frankly, you got to call a spade, and we got to work on those things moving forward this week and get ready to go play the Skyhawks.
You play a team like this and this big, and you see so many injuries kind of falling. What's kind of the thing, especially with Jacob Clark staying in all the way through? Don't put in QB2, and just kind of what's the thoughts of don't get these guys hurt, but also play powerful and play well.
Yeah, definitely. You can get hurt walking across the street. Jacob Clark's a real competitor. He wants to play. We wanted to keep him in the game, get him some late reps, and continue to compete and fight each and every play until the whistle blows and the game is over.
Overall, what do you think about your team compared to 2 back-to-back $20 million plus rosters?
I like our team. I told him in the locker room, I said, I like the way our football team works. I think that once we can continue to just tighten the screws here and there, and make the plays, just make the easy ones. You saw today we made some excellent plays and then struggled to make just the basic catch and throws or the basic run and tackles. You clean those things up and good things will happen.
What did you see out of your defense early on? Those 2 turnovers really out of the gate, and then just from there on out.
Yeah, we knew we needed to come out and create turnovers, get the ball to our offense, and we knew we had to keep them off the field. They're an explosive offense. The quarterback is as good as it gets at extending plays. You can sit there and you can just pressure him to death. He sidesteps one guy and runs for a touchdown, or you can play some zone, which we try to mix it in a nice little bit. I like the game plan. Again, we can continue to execute at a higher level. I think we'll be okay.
How would you kind of assess these first 3 games? I think if you were a fan, you look at those first 3, USC, Marshall, and this one. Now that you're done with them, I heard you kind of see where your team is, kind of going into that UT Martin and Conference USA stretch, kind of assess where things are.
Yeah, unfortunately, again, we took some tough injuries today, but I like where the mental makeup of the team is at. We're competitors. Again, no one was sad, crying in the locker room because we just got beat by SMU. Okay, that's a really, really good football team. As you can tell how they travel in a professional manner, the things that, they afford resource-wise. We're coming along, but we still got a long way to go. But again, our players are dialed in. They believe in what we're doing, and we're excited to get back to work and go.
Yeah, and obviously you had multiple times in the third, fourth quarter, mostly third quarter, kind of regaining a lead. No coach has, moral victory, but was it kind of like, wow, this program is going toe-to-toe with SMU in a third quarter of a football game? Did you kind of feel that kind of?
Yeah. Again, I'm not big on all that because when you look at the game, again, you come out of half, you're in the red zone, we got to get points there. We turn the ball over, they go score. Right there is the difference. You get points, right, and then we're able to get a stop. It's a brand new ball game. That's just kind of, again, when you're playing high-quality football teams that have great coaching, great players, those things are going to happen. You have to be as close to perfect as possible. Unfortunately, we weren't at times today, and we'll get better.
Did you guys think you did a pretty solid job on Jennings? Just some plays got away from you, but if you were to kind of look at the film, would you kind of look at?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. When we came into the game, we didn't want him to extend plays and let him beat us with his feet. I think we did a nice job of that. Now, in the same breath, you bring a great field pressure and you don't have one guy having contain. You have to do it every single play. It got a little loose sometimes, but again, I really like the plan. It's proud of the defensive staff in doing what we wanted to do, try to make them play left-handed. Now, again, when you do that, you've got to make the basic tackles. You've got to make your basic plays to get you off the field when you need to. But I'm very excited about this football team. I love the players in the locker room. They're fighting their asses off. And again, we're 1-2, right? 1-2, having a home game next week against, I guess you would call it like a new age rival with the Skyhawks. So they're a well-coached football team. We're excited to get back to work and go get it done.
How much does a crowd of this size mean to you? You got almost 3,000 more than you did at your best game last year, best performing game last year. 15,000 people now. What does that mean for you?
It was awesome. I mean, it was a great atmosphere, and I appreciate people's time is valuable. People's money is, important, especially nowadays, to spend your money to come watch us play, to support us, to have our back in the community. It means everything to the players and coaches. I mean, we've got a lot of, JJ sitting back there smiling right now. He's a local guy. If you would have told him growing up that Missouri State would have hosted SMU and played fairly well for a little decent portion of the game, he would have called you crazy because it never would have happened. It was a program that was dead in the water. These guys bought in. They brought it back to life, and the future's bright at Missouri State.
Coach, do you kind of see the parallels from the early part of last year? You were 1-2, had some missed chances, and hit the stretch. I mean, is that really what we're kind of maybe mirror image?
Yeah. Again, I'm sorry I can't sit up here and pout too much. That's not really who I am about. Yeah, we let one get away, and in my personal opinion, I think if we make some of those plays, we go win the football game. And it's SMU. And everybody would have gone, oh, no way. Yeah, watch the film. And I promise you that's what it showed. But again, we did not, and we are ready to move forward, and that's exactly what we'll do.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate your time.